Hello, everyone, and welcome. You know that feeling, right? When you read the very first line of a story and you just know you're in for something special? Well, that's exactly the kind of magic we're going to unpack today. Think of this as our classroom, where we're going to see how just a few simple sentences can build an entire world right before our eyes. So let's get started. What is it that makes a story's opening so powerful? That first sentence that just grabs you and won't let go. Today, we're going to take a really close look at the first few lines of a classic short story to figure out exactly how a writer pulls that off. And our text for today's lesson comes straight from the Class X English textbook, Bliss. We're jumping into Lesson 5. Now, on the surface, this story seems pretty simple. But trust me, hidden in these opening lines are some of the biggest secrets to what makes writing truly great. The story is Our Runaway Kite, and it's by the absolutely brilliant Lucy Maud Montgomery. Now, if that name sounds familiar, it should. She's the genius behind Anne of Green Gables. So, yeah, we're in the hands of a real pro here, a true master of the craft. Our whole mission today is to see how Montgomery uses just a handful of carefully chosen words to paint this incredibly vivid picture. She introduces her characters and sets up this big central question that you just have to get an answer to. It's amazing, a total masterclass in how to tell a story efficiently. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to read the first 3 sentences of the story out loud. As you listen, don't just hear the words. I want you to really think about what's being revealed. What are we learning? And maybe even more important, how do these words make you feel? Okay, ready? Here we go. Of course, there was nobody for us to play with on the big half moon. Whoa. Right away, that little phrase, of course, tells you everything. It's like this loneliness isn't new. It's just a fact of life for our narrator. And we immediately get a sense of place, the big half moon, and this powerful feeling of isolation. Next sentence. It used to be only Father and Claude and I. Now, did you catch those 2 little words, used to? That is so important. That simple phrase just cracks the whole story wide open. It immediately creates a before and an after. It tells us the world has changed, and bam, a mystery is born. And then, this. It is all on account of the kite that there are more of us. And there it is, the hook, the one thing that changed everything. In just one sentence, that problem of loneliness seems to be solved, but a brand new mystery takes its place. The family is bigger now, and it's all because of a kite? How? Why? You have to keep reading, right? You just have to know. Okay, excellent. So now, let's put on our literary detective hats, shall we? Let's break down exactly what Montgomery managed to do in that incredibly short opening. I mean, really think about it. What have we actually learned in just those 3 sentences? How much of this world do we already get a feel for? Well, the answer is a whole lot. It's kind of amazing when you stop and look at it. Let's map it out on this table here. Look at this. For the setting, we've got Big Half Moon, which sounds totally isolated. For characters, we have a little family, Father, Claude, and our narrator. The main conflict? Loneliness. It's right there in the first line. And the foreshadowing, that little hint of what's coming, a kite is about to change everything. All 4 basic building blocks of a story delivered in an instant. And if you read just a tiny bit further, the world gets even richer. We find out Father is the lighthouse keeper, which explains all the isolation. We even learn the narrator is 11 and her brother Claude is 12. This isn't just a rough sketch. She's painting a really detailed picture for us super fast. And this, right here, is the heart of the story's mystery. All of its energy comes from the journey between these 2 states, the then and the now. How did they get from a quiet, lonely life of just 3 people to, well, a life with more of them? The bridge connecting that past to the present, it's that runaway kite. So, this all brings us back to the power of a great beginning. It's so easy to just read past it, but a great opening does so much work. It's not just starting the story, it's making a promise to you, the reader, a promise of an interesting world and a mystery worth solving. And that's really our main takeaway today. A truly masterful writer doesn't waste a single word. They use those first few crucial lines to lay the entire foundation for the story, welcoming us into a world that feels real and exciting from the very first sentence. So you could almost say Montgomery gives us this simple but super powerful 3-step formula. First, step 1, the problem. She gives us something we can all relate to, loneliness. Step 2, the characters. She introduces us to the people who are dealing with that problem. And step 3, the hook. She hints at the strange, unexpected thing, the kite, that's going to change their lives forever. Problem, characters, hook. It's just the perfect recipe for a start you can't put down.
So, as we wrap up our lesson, I'll leave you with a question to think about. Think about the books you love, the stories that have stayed with you for years. What was it about their opening lines that just pulled you in? Next time you pick up a new book, pay extra close attention to that very first page. You might just see the magic behind the curtain. Thanks for joining the class today.